All right, so today I'm not here to discuss about my experiences, lessons I've learned, or to give any sort of advice to people learning out there at all. I'm just here to ask you one question. Why not you? Because I'm honestly sick of everyone around me being so negative or limiting in their beliefs, right? Now, not everyone has to aim towards having a Lamborghini, Bugatti, Ferrari, penthouse in Burj Khalifa, Miami, or whatever, right? But I'm just saying, why not you? Like, why do you think, like, okay, maybe a Bentley is just not something realistic? Because okay, I'll give you an example, right? I was having a conversation with someone who has a car, and we were driving by, right, in their car, and I pointed out like, oh look, a Bentley Bentayga that costs like 6.5, 7 crore rupees. They were like, that's pretty stupid. Like it's not a practical car, and I was like, what is practical? Because buying a car is relative to how much you make, right? Now he was driving a car, which made sense for his bank balance, income stream, and how much he could afford, right? So the person driving the Bentley bought a car which he could afford, which is relative to his bank balance, income, and just how what he can afford. So if you're really going by realistic or practicality or like use case, right? This guy could have very easily bought a cheaper car if it's just about being smart with your money or being practical with just your needs of a car, right? But he did buy a car which is more expensive, which is more comfortable in certain ways, or something he likes better, right? So I just asked him, like, I want to get a Bentley one day. And he's like, yeah, it's nice. But, like, he didn't really seem to believe that I could because, well, not everyone has a Bentley, right? It's really fucking expensive to begin with. If you want to buy a Bentley of 7 crores, you need to be worth at least, like, tens of crores, not even hundreds, I'd say. Like, just to be able to afford a Bentley, you need to be worth, like, a couple of crores, right? So he didn't seem to believe that, and he didn't seem to want a Bentley either because it was so far out of his reach, like mentally, that he didn't think it was realistically possible. And I could not understand why, because everywhere around us, people were driving Ferraris, people were living in these mansions worth tens of millions of dollars, and I just didn't understand why he didn't think, this is something I can achieve too. If I plan my finances well, if I plan my life well, if I make a very structured, detailed plan and believe I can do it, in the next 10 years, I could buy a Bentley too. I could live in the mansion too. But they just didn't believe it. And obviously, nothing you don't believe yourself is going to come true in your life, right? So, unless you think you can do it, it's not going to happen. And that's not just about a Bentley. And I'm being so obsessed with the Bentley because that's a car I like. Of course, it could be anything else that you like. It could be a McLaren. It could even be a horse. Like, it doesn't have to be a car. You could buy a really expensive horse just because you like one. But I'm just talking about being able to afford one, being able to have one, right? So all I'm saying is don't be limiting to yourself mentally. If you really want something, there's nothing stopping you from achieving it. Like even on Instagram, you see everyone have everything they have, right? I'm not saying that their life is perfect. I'm not saying that that is the ideal life or you should aim towards that. But all I'm saying is people are achieving their dreams and goals. And if they can, you can too. And there's nothing stopping us, at least in today's world, from achieving that, right? Okay, maybe in the medieval century when my dad was a blacksmith and I had to become a blacksmith, and there was this insane tax by the king that I'd give away all my like produce or a part of my earnings, then maybe that makes sense. Like, okay, I don't know what times were like back then, but there is a certain limiting factor where okay, you can't like really go out there and do whatever you want, right? But in today's world, you literally fucking can. You can move to a different country, you can set up a house there, a business there, marry someone there, have children there, set up a corporation, go to some other country, set up a corporation there, get a driving license there, go to another country, get a driving license there. So you can do everything possible. All you got to do is believe you can do it and plan accordingly.